drapeaux include local French citizens as honorary flag bearers. A vigil party provided by the Canadian Armed Forces will post sentries on the Juno Beach Center Monument. Standing sentry is a ceremonial duty of keeping watch over our fallen, in tribute to their sacrifice. Un détachement de veille fourni par des forces armées canadiennes postera des sentinelles au monument du centre Juno Beach. Poster une sentinelle est le devoir cérémonial de veille sur les disparus en honneur de leur sacrifice. Par respect pour nos vétérans, les soldats en service vont former une haie d'honneur pour leur arrivée. To pay respect to our veterans, now serving soldiers will line the walkway for their arrival.
Thanks for the memory of Schubert's serenade, little things of jade and traffic jams and anagrams.
Nous avons le privilège d'avoir parmi nous des vétérans du jour J de la bataille de Normandie et de la Seconde Guerre mondiale. C'est avec respect et admiration qu'ils sont accueillis aujourd'hui. We are honored to have with us veterans of D-Day, the Battle of Normandy, and the Second World War. It is with great respect and admiration that we welcome them today. Here they are, in alphabetical order. Les voici, en ordre alphabétique. Bill Anderson, Royal Canadian Artillery. Roland Armitage, Royal Canadian Artillery. Lloyd Bentley, Royal Air Force Transport Command. Art Boone, Royal Canadian Artillery. Colin Brown, Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, 15th Scottish Division. Richard Brown, Royal Canadian Air Force.
Hugh Buckley, 27th Armoured Regiment, the Sherbrooke Fusilier Regiment.
Jack Birch, Royal Canadian Air Force. Bill Cameron, Royal Canadian Navy. George Chow, Royal Canadian Artillery. Lloyd Clayton, Royal Canadian Navy. Sidney Cole, Royal Canadian Air Force.
Emerald Court, Royal Canadian Navy.
Charles Davis, Royal Canadian Artillery. Roderick Dion, Royal Canadian Navy. Benoit Duval, Royal Canadian Navy.
Joe Edwardson, Regina Rifle Regiment. Alir Gallant, 27th Armored Regiment, the Sherbrooke Fusilier Regiment.
Henry Greenwood, Royal Canadian Navy. Roy Hare, Essex Scottish Regiment.
Alfred Hebbs, 27th Armored Regiment, the Sherbrooke Fusilier Regiment.
Werner Hawken, Royal Canadian Air Force. Stuart Johns, Royal Canadian Artillery.
Winston Judson, Royal Canadian Navy. Earl Kennedy, Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry Highlanders.
Norman Kirby, North Shore New Brunswick Regiment. Frank Krebs, Royal Canadian Engineers.
Donald McKechnie, Royal Air Force.
Jack Miller, Royal Canadian Air Force. Patrick Moore, Royal Engineers.
William Novick, Royal Canadian Air Force.
Jim Parks, Royal Winnipeg Rifles.
Hugh Patterson, Royal Canadian Corps of Signals. Alex Polowan, Royal Canadian Navy.
Albert Roy, Royal Canadian Artillery. Charles Scott Brown, Gordon Highlanders. Robert Spencer, Royal Canadian Artillery. John Stoika, Royal Winnipeg Rifles.
David Teacher, Royal Air Force.
Jean Trompe, Régiment de Maisonneuve. Eugenie Frankie Turner, Royal Canadian Air Force. William Timchuk, Lake Superior Regiment.
Victor Urch, Royal Navy.
Alphonse Vautour, North Shore New Brunswick Regiment.
Jim Warford, Royal Canadian Army Service Corps.
Bill Wilson, Royal Canadian Navy.
Honorary Lieutenant General Richard Romer, Royal Canadian Air Force.
Monsieur Roy Lewis, aîné cri de la nation cri Samson en Alberta au Canada, procédera à une bénédiction autochtone accompagné de son épouse Judy. Mr. Roy Lewis, a Cree elder from the Samson Cree First Nation in Alberta, Canada, will now offer an Indigenous blessing assisted by his wife, Judy.
First of all, I want to pay my tribute to the Eels staff. It's a very ceremonial one that we have here, and it's gone across the country. I also want to pay my tribute to these people, the warriors of many years, the other warriors, our people, the Indigenous people of the world. And that's so important for us as First Nations. I just want to thank you all for that, because you deserve to be recognized. You deserve to be given that honor, because you've done so much for Canada. And I know you'll continue to do the same in the future. I want to say my prayer in my own Cree language, which is Plains Cree. And I want to do that for all of you. I wear my headdress to you as veterans. This is my honor to you. So thank you for that. Aha mamo yo tawe mao. Nanas komana no tagiskag. Asemna tagiskag mi yatis hitotamak. Magakiam ekta minan masok mantrehtsigan. This which haya taisinimna gnistanan. Amichit ortago apaog ipitohtits komorta mamopon. So with the Mona, Examatis Melka Kyogi, Exiskagis Mutatagog, or Tenigan Gistot, Miswa Patamegan, Gueskis by Gorteni, Tehina, Capchita, Montenegro, Minasco, Exis which Henan, so with the Mona, Ego Kemyogis Kaganoska Patameg, Exiskagismo, Kisto, which Henan, Hi, Nanascom now, hey.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Gamble, and I'm the curator here at the Naval Museum of Halifax. Today we're going to be taking a look at a few of our D-Day artifacts. We're very lucky. We do have someone who recently donated to the museum in the last few years. His father's name is Harold Tilley. Harold Tilley was present on D-Day. He was a Royal Canadian Naval officer. This is his photograph here. And what's really great about Tilley's collection is that Tilley wrote a series of letters, kept journals about his experience with D-Day. He was one of the commanders on one of the landing crafts on the day of the operation. And this is really cool. This is the helmet that he wore on his landing craft on D-Day. And we're really lucky because his name is on the helmet, which is really neat. So in here, you'll see he's got his name on. You can't barely see it, but it says his name right there, Tilly, on it. But it's a really neat artifact, and we're very lucky to have it because he actually wore it on D-Day. One of the most important artifacts we have here is Operation Neptune. This is the actual operational orders for D-Day. This book highlighted what all Allied forces were supposed to do on the day, where people were supposed to land, where ships were supposed to be, what the Royal Canadian Air Force was supposed to do, what the British Air Force were supposed to do, and what the Royal Canadian Navy ships were supposed to do. Everything from the time minesweepers went out or launched early in the morning to go clear the way for the landing crafts to come in. So all those orders are in this booklet. After D-Day happened, these were supposed to be destroyed, but whoever decided to keep this knew that this was an important event in history and kept it and preserved it. This is one of two that we know of that still exist. All was laid out for D-Day. And as you can see, there are personal notes that have been made, corrections that have been added leading up to the D-Day itself. So it's a really amazing piece of primary source from the time period and just gives us a really good in-depth look of how much planning went into this campaign. This is a personal photo album that we have here in our collection. During the war, a lot of sailors, even though they weren't really supposed to, carried personal little cameras on them. A lot of those little cameras were called brownies. They were cameras about yay big, and they produced little photographs. And so a lot of these guys did have these cameras, but glad they did, because they were able to document important events. And this guy, he was able to document his experience on D-Day. Here's the invasion of Normandy on June 6th. So he has taken a series of pictures of all of the landing crafts and all of the Allied naval forces coming in to Normandy. So it's amazing to see. But what's also great is that we're able also to confirm, yes, these ships were here at this time. And yes, this is what they actually were doing. It's the personal photograph albums that I really enjoy. You just get to see a different side. You see a lot of official photographs during the wartime, like a lot of these kind of photographs, the very official standing at attention or official photos of the crew and the boat. And so these very personal photographs are a really great perspective of a first-hand experience during the war. Even though it was wartime, people were still people. They still laughed and had a good time, and everything wasn't always so serious, and that's neat to see through these photographs too.
Un message du gouvernement du Canada.
They were just kids from New Brunswick. Never even left the North Shore before. Dad trained them the best he could. But how could they possibly be prepared? This was the biggest operation the world had ever seen. He'd already served in the First World War, earned the right to stay home, raise his children. But how could he send those boys into battle and not be by their side? Many were killed that day. One was my father.
Major Archie McNaughton was 47 when he died on D-Day, the invasion that marked the beginning of the end of the Second World War.
Ils n'étaient que des enfants du Nouveau-Brunswick. Ils n'avaient jamais quitté la rive nord auparavant. Papa les avait formés du mieux qu'il a pu. Mais comment aurait-il pu être prêt?
C'est temps de quitter la plage!
Le monde n'avait jamais vu une telle opération. Il avait déjà servi durant la Première Guerre mondiale. Il avait gagné le droit de rester à la maison, d'élever ses enfants. Mais comment pouvait-il envoyer ses garçons au combat et ne pas être à leur côté? Plusieurs sont morts ainsi. Mon père était l'un d'entre eux.
Le major Archie McNaughton avait 47 ans lorsqu'il est mort en menant ses hommes lors du jour J, l'invasion qui a marqué le début de la fin de la Deuxième Guerre mondiale.
We invite you to turn your attention to the screens as 359 Canadian and French youth and cadets walk along the beach. They will lay down helmets, flowers, and boots representing the 359 Canadian soldiers who lost their lives 75 years ago. Nous vous invitons à diriger votre attention vers les écrans, où 359 jeunes et cadets du Canada et de la France marchent sur la plage. Ils vont déposer des casques, des fleurs et des bottes en l'honneur des 359 membres des Forces armées canadiennes qui ont perdu la vie il y a 75 ans. NCSM Montcalm de Québec et de l'Aviation royale. Ladies and gentlemen, the Canadian Armed Forces Guard will now march on, accompanied by a Canadian Armed Forces Brass and Reed Band. The band is comprised of members from the Native Band from Victoria, the Royal Canadian Artillery Band from Edmonton, HMCS Montcalm in Quebec City, and the Royal Canadian Air Force from Winnipeg. The Guard includes soldiers representing all units that participated in D-Day and the Battle of Normandy. Mesdames et Messieurs, la garde de cérémonie des Forces armées canadiennes va maintenant défiler, accompagnée par une musique des Forces armées canadiennes. La formation musicale est composée des membres du Native Band de Victoria, de l'Artillerie royale canadienne d'Edmonton, du NCSM Montcalm de Québec et de l'Aviation royale canadienne de Winnipeg. La garde est composée de soldats représentant toutes les unités qui ont participé au jour J et à la bataille de Normandie.
Guard, reform 2 ranks. Elbow dressing inward! Dress! Guard, eyes! Front! Okay! Up! Guard, stand up! Easy! Guard, stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome our dignitaries. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour accueillir nos distingués invités. The Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada. Le très honorable Justin Trudeau, Premier ministre du Canada. Monsieur Édouard Philippe, Prime Minister of the French Republic. Monsieur Édouard Philippe, Premier ministre de la République française.
Salut, Général! Présenté! Ah! Stand easy.
Arriving from the sea is the CP-140 Aurora, a long-range patrol aircraft. L'avion que vous voyez arriver est le CP-140 Aurora, un aéronef de patrouille à long rayon d'action.
Français parlent aux Français. Veuillez écouter tout d'abord quelques messages personnels. Les sanglots longs des violons de l'automne. Je répète, les sanglots longs des violons de l'automne blessent mon cœur d'une langueur monotone. Je répète, blessent mon cœur d'une langueur monotone.
Ici Londres. Les Français parlent aux Français. Veuillez écouter tout d'abord quelques messages personnels. Les sanglots longs des violons de l'automne.
Je répète.
Les sanglots longs des violons de l'automne blessent mon cœur d'une langueur monotone.
Je répète.
Blessent mon cœur d'une langueur monotone.
These words, spoken over the radio to the people of occupied France, signal the imminent start of the battle to liberate Western Europe.
J'avais 17 ans. Pierre Gauthier, soldat, régiment de la Chaudière. On va te mettre dans l'infanterie, qu'ils m'ont dit. Je savais pas ce que c'était, l'infanterie, moi. Je connaissais pas ça, l'artillerie, l'infanterie, tout ça. Je l'ai appris plus tard ce que c'était, parce que c'était pas mal rough.
75 years ago, Canadians landed on this beach, an event that helped define their young lives, and unfortunately for too many of them, marked their last day on Earth.
We started training for D-Day aboard ships we would go out, board our ships, then get down in our landing crafts and hit the beaches. We did that for 4 years. We trained in Scotland, off the Isle of Wight, out of Portsmouth and Southampton. The whole 4.5 years, all for D-Day.
Nous sommes éternellement reconnaissants pour tous ceux et celles qui ont participé à cette bataille qui est à jamais gravée dans la mémoire des Canadiens et des Canadiennes. Le 6 juin 1944, le jour J, le jour de la plus grande opération militaire combinée de l'histoire.
June 6, 1944, D-Day, the largest combined military operation in history. To those who took part in this battle, we are eternally grateful.
Pierre Gauthier, soldat.
Finalement, le lendemain matin, ils nous ont marché vers le port, puis on a embarqué sur des gros bateaux. C'était des bateaux marchands. Et puis on est allé dans la cale de ces bateaux-là. Puis on n'avait pas de place pour se coucher, on n'avait pas de rien à manger, on se demandait. Là, on a réalisé qu'on s'en allait dans quelque chose de pas mal sérieux.
Too soon to leave this earth. How could all your work be done? Ash to ash and dust to dust. Seemed to me you'd just begun. When grief invades my soul, there's comfort in a prayer I find. And though these candles honor you, they burn for those you left behind. I'll sing for you because I need to. Right now this is all I know. I'll sing so we will not forget you. I will sing you home. I will sing you home. Know that you will live on the lips of those who knew what it was you had to give, and what it was we learned from you. This is our prayer for you, and maybe someday we will know que votre sacrifice se souviendra toujours. I'll sing for you because I need to. Right now this is all I know. I'll sing so we will not forget you. I will sing you home. I will sing you home. We're born unto this earth, generations one by one, ash to ash and dust to dust. There is nothing left undone. I'll sing for you because Right now, this is all I know. I'll sing so we will not forget you. I will sing you home. I will sing you home. I'll sing for you because I need to. Right now, this is all I know. I'll sing so we will not forget you. I will sing you home. I will sing you home. I will sing you home. I will sing you.
Thank you, merci. That was Juno Award-winning Ennis Sisters from St. John's, Newfoundland, with their evocative song Sing You Home. C'était les Ennis Sisters originaires de St. John's, Terre-Neuve, avec Sing You Home.
Je m'appelle Jacqueline, je travaille dans une usine de munitions. Je n'ai jamais dit à mon mari que je ne voulais pas qu'il s'enrôle. Je garde ma colère à l'intérieur de moi. Il n'a pas le droit de risquer sa vie pour libérer un pays où il n'a jamais mis les pieds. Comment dire à un homme qui n'a pas le droit de partir sans savoir s'il reviendra, qui n'a pas le droit de quitter sa famille, ses amis, et moi?
Before we go into battle, they line up 36 men and they say every third one won't be coming back.
Je suis enceinte. Chaque jour, je prie pour que mon enfant ait la chance de connaître son père. Autour de moi, beaucoup de femmes vivent la même angoisse.
I looked around to the one on my left and the one on my right, and I thought, it's not going to be me.
Mes parents et moi sommes réunis autour de la radio. On annonce le débarquement. Je sais que tu es là, je pense à toi. Je pense à tous mes amis, mes voisins, les habitants de mon quartier qui sont là avec toi. Il n'y a plus beaucoup d'hommes dans nos vies.
I'm not going to get killed, but some will.
Ma mère pleure en silence tandis que mon père fait les 100 pas et moi, je me souviens de notre mariage, la première fois que je t'ai vu en uniforme. Le jour où tu m'as admis que tu avais peur de ne pas être à la hauteur. Et en l'espace d'un instant, ma peur, mon angoisse et ma colère se transforment en fierté.
When we land on
Reviens-moi, mon amour.
When we land on the beach in Normandy that morning, we lost 100 men, right off the bat.
Evelyn Chiasson, wireless operator.
I dream all the time. I dream all these crazy dreams every night. I'm still dreaming them, and I often wonder why. And you'll see people that like last night I dreamed about people that were killed on D-Day, and you see them young. You see them in your mind's eye, and you'll see all these people that fell next to you and somebody next to you. Those even 60 years after that, all keeps coming back. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, we are honored to have with us Honorary Lieutenant General Richard Romer. Nous sommes honorés d'avoir avec nous aujourd'hui le lieutenant général honoraire Richard Romer. Voici son témoignage. Here is his story.
As a D-Day veteran, it's a lifetime privilege to once again speak on behalf of all Canadian D-Day veterans who are present and for those thousands who are absent, still living or long gone. As a reconnaissance pilot tasked and trained, my job was not to try to shoot down enemy aircraft, but to support the Army on the ground as its eyes and ears and provide intelligence as to what the German forces were doing. D-Day, there was a wall of cloud sitting over the beach that made us get down to 500 feet from over 3,000-foot channel crossing altitude. Below us, Juno Beach was flooded with the explosion of artillery shells. It was the landing craft mainly of the Queen's Own Rifles that we saw amid scores of Canadian and other vessels loaded with fighting men, many of whom would die under fire as their landing craft doors opened above the gravelly beach sand. But those brave soldiers who could keep going did so. When I did, on the second run over Juno Beach, I received a huge shock. Huge. My gauges for tanks in both my left and right wings said 0. But the good Lord was with me. I landed at Royal Air Force Thorney Island Airport at the channel's English edge. My engine quit as I was landing on its runway. After our briefing, Taylor and I were off again for our second trip that day to the massive fighting and successful progress by the Canadian, British, and American forces, now fully lodged at great cost in the Battle of Normandy. In 1944, we fought the battles in France and the other important countries in Europe, fought for the freedom of their peoples. Canada was a world-class military power on land, on the sea, and in the air. We, the teenage fighters, no more than boys, achieved huge victories for Canada with a great cost in human life. What did the intervening 75 years achieve for Canada? We are a great nation, one where peoples from across the globe come for freedom, prosperity, start new lives, and to raise their families. Today's Canadian Armed Forces members are known around the world for our efforts to bring peace and justice to nations and their peoples through peacekeeping, humanitarian, and when necessary, through combat operations. We surviving veterans of D-Day and the long-ago liberation of Europe believe that in 1944, we had a significant role in the creation of today's Canada, the finest, the best country in the world in which to live and be a citizen.
Or as everybody liked to call us, the Wrens. We've been trained, among other things, to work map rooms, maintain equipment, staff wireless and navigation stations, and taking part in code-breaking efforts. We work around the clock to make sure that our boys have what it takes to succeed. I myself ended up to England, where I helped intercept and decode enemy transmissions. It's at once exhilarating and exhausting. Begin any day. We didn't whisper a word to anyone about it, of course, but the knowledge that such a momentous event was so close at hand kept us up at night. This morning, the girls and I watched from the roof of our residence as wave after wave of bombers and fighters fly over us at a dizzying pace. The sky turned to steel. It has begun. The landing craft hit the beach. The die is cast and every man is left to his own fate. Sniper Peter Bewitt, Soldat Valmont Poirier, Company Sergeant Major Charlie Martin, Soldat Edgar Douarion, and Stretcher Bearer Bud Hannum are there. Good luck, boys.
When the door went down on the landing craft, machine gun fire opened up at the doorway. To my two friends, I said, "To hell with this." And I removed my equipment that weighed about 65 pounds. I just jumped over the side along with my two friends. Fortunately enough, we landed on a sandbar. There were only 3 of us that got out of the barge altogether.
Une fois débarqués sur la plage, on était à plat ventre, on était à 4 pattes pour se cacher. Les balles arrivaient de partout. Il y avait des Allemands dans l'église qui étaient là, qui tiraient sur nous pour nous empêcher d'arriver à terre. Puis là, les bateaux en arrière ont tiré sur l'église. La mitrailleuse a arrêté.
I said, "Move fast. Don't stop for anything. Go, go, go." We raced down the ramp. We fanned out as fast as possible. Machine gun fire and mortars never let up. As we raced across the beach, we didn't have time to think. Our training did the thinking for us.
Notre équipement était lourd, puis on avait loin à aller. Partout sur la plage, il y avait des mines, de la broche, des collants en cuivre. Il y en a qui se prenaient les pieds là-dedans. Ça se lamentait. Il y avait des jambes de partie. Il y en a qui criaient « Maman! » Mais je me suis rendu jusqu'à la côte. On s'est rendu jusqu'à la côte.
I'm not a brave man. Really, I'm a bit of a coward, I guess, I don't know. But I always figured that it took a bit of guts to go ashore there from the landing craft. And in those instances, you've established relationship with your buddies. Don't let them down, they're your buddies.
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, veuillez accueillir, please welcome, the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, le très honorable Justin Trudeau, Premier ministre du Canada.
On the eve of June 6, 1944, Richard Scott Brown, a member of the Royal Air Force 644 Squadron from Port Arthur, Ontario, was towing gliders out under the moonlight. Just after midnight, he would seize bridges in enemy territory. Securing these access points proved to be critical to the success of Operation Neptune. It meant that the infantry could send over heavy artillery on the morning of D-Day and help the men who had carried out the amphibious landings. Norman Harold Kirby, a Bren gunner from British Columbia, was one of these men. A member of the North Shore Infantry Regiment, he stormed Juno Beach on the morning of June 6th, 1944. But while making its way to shore, the landing craft carrying his unit hit a mine. So Norman Kirby did what he had been trained to do. He ran. Without any weapons save a knife, a fork, and a spoon, Norman Kirby ran across the beach towards the enemy. He would go on to fight in Belgium, Germany, and Holland. He was just 19 years old. Comme Normand Kirby, Comme Normand Kirby, Jean Trempe venait tout juste d'avoir 19 ans lors du débarquement de Normandie. Originaire de Montréal, lui aussi était loin de chez lui. Il s'est dirigé vers la rive sous la pluie des bombardements allemands. Il se souviendra toute sa vie du carnage dont il a été témoin ce jour-là. Des cris de ses camarades blessés par les balles et les bombes, des corps sans vie qui jonchaient la plage, le corps des siens, de soldats, de lieutenants et même de capitaines tombés au combat. Jean Trempe affirmera plus tard qu'il a vu le meilleur et le pire de l'être humain pendant la Deuxième Guerre mondiale. 14,000 Canadians stormed Juno Beach that day with no guarantee of victory. It was a gamble like the world had never seen before. But when duty called, Canadians from coast to coast to coast answered. The 3rd Division and the 2nd Armoured Brigade represented all of Canada. They were comprised of men like Richard Scott Brown, Normand Harold Kirby, and Jean Trempe, men who came from different parts of our great country to serve. On the battlefields of Normandy, Francophones, Anglophones, Indigenous peoples, new Canadians came together as one fighting force, standing on guard for their British, American, and French allies. One country, standing on guard for the wounded soldier, the imprisoned brother, the oppressed sister, the grieving mother, the deceased father. Standing on guard for democracy, for liberty, for peace. Les troupes canadiennes auront réussi à avancer plus loin en terre ennemie que n'importe quelle autre armée lors du débarquement de Normandie. Nos soldats venaient d'entrer dans l'histoire, mais ce soir-là, ils pleureront la perte de ceux qui ne reverront jamais notre pays. La perte de pères, de frères et de fils qui, il y a 75 ans, jour pour jour, ont fait le sacrifice de leur vie pour leurs concitoyens, pour les générations futures, pour vous et moi. Plus de 5000 Canadiens sont tombés sur les champs de bataille de la Normandie. 75 ans plus tard, nous nous souvenons de l'ampleur de leur sacrifice. Nous nous souvenons notamment des compagnies de la première vague, comme les Royal Winnipeg Rifles et les Queen's Rifles of Canada, qui ont subi des pertes énormes dans les premières heures du jour J. Nous nous rappelons leur courage, leur ténacité et leur générosité. We thank them not only for their sacrifice, but for their example, for inspiring countless young men and women to answer the call of duty like they once did, for teaching us the value of service, for showing us the true meaning of honor. We thank them for leaving us a better world than the one they once inherited. We owe an enormous debt of gratitude to the men who fought the beaches of Normandy. Grâce à eux, nous vivons dans la liberté et dans la paix. Grâce à eux, les valeurs de paix et de démocratie définissent notre pays, mais l'héritage qu'ils nous ont légué s'étend bien au-delà de nos frontières. Ils ont façonné le monde dans lequel nous vivons. Ils ont tissé les liens d'amitié sur lesquels reposent nos relations avec tant de pays aujourd'hui. Ils ont inspiré les grands forums internationaux qui régissent l'univers diplomatique, des forums comme l'ONU, l'OTAN, la Banque mondiale et j'en passe. Grâce à eux, grâce aux sacrifices qu'ils ont su faire il y a maintenant 75 ans, notre monde est plus sûr, plus connecté et plus pacifique qu'il ne l'était à l'époque. I stand here knowing that I can never fully understand what our brave men and women in uniform experienced and will never forget. Only those who threw themselves against the walls of the fortress of Europe in Normandy know the full extent of what unfolded here 75 years ago. But it is the responsibility of all Canadians to ensure that their story and their sacrifice will never be forgotten. It is up to us to preserve and protect the values for which they fought, up to us to uphold their proud legacy, and we will not let them down. Merci.
And now, please welcome, veuillez accueillir un incontournable de la chanson québécoise, l'auteur, compositeur, interprète, Luc de la Chenelière. This is singer-songwriter Luc de la Chenelière with his song Beauté perdue.
Sur Jean Doré du courage, j'en ai eu souvent avant. Je saurai filtrer ma rage et laisserai filer le temps. Et j'irai poser les armes bien avant d'ouvrir le feu. Mais il m'en faudra bien plus face à ta beauté perdue. Je n'aurai jamais assez de larmes pour bien m'enlever les yeux. Je n'aurai jamais assez de larmes pour bien m'enlever les yeux. Sûr, je vais continuer ma vie. Je bâtirai d'autres maisons. Et je verrai mes jours, mes nuits, habiter d'autres visions. Je saurai même tisser la trame d'une vie qui ferait des envieux. Mais il m'en faudra bien plus face à ta beauté perdue. Je n'aurai jamais assez de larmes pour bien m'en laver les yeux. Je n'aurai jamais assez de larmes pour bien m'en laver les yeux. Et la gravée sur mon œil, ton visage qui m'accuse, chaque jour et jusqu'au cercueil, comme une cruelle muse, et qui fait monter la sève des racines du désespoir et qui réveille des vieux rêves tout en m'empêchant d'y croire. Sûr, il y aura d'autres lunes, étoilées couchées de soleil. Les joies viendront plus qu'à une, la terre va tourner pareil. Je vais même surfer sur des drames sous l'œil médusé de Dieu. Mais il m'en faudra bien plus face à ta beauté perdue. Je n'aurai jamais assez de larmes pour bien m'en laver les yeux. Je n'aurai jamais assez de larmes pour bien m'en laver les yeux.
The fighting soon moved inland to the nearby coastal villages and on the beach. Reinforcements and equipment started to pour in, as witnessed by Frederick Rogers.
Myself and another man, our job was to walk ahead of the convoy and move any dead bodies we might run over. That was my first view of the war.
And the wounded could finally be evacuated and properly cared for by Soldat Raymond Farley, able seaman Earl Grey, and nursing sister Georgina Seeley.
On n'était pas un hôpital, nous autres, la 23e ambulance. On était un poste de secours avancé. Ils pouvaient mettre 3 civières par jeep. Nous autres, on les prenait, on les emmenait à la tente où le médecin changeait les pansements et puis regardait ce qui pouvait être fait. Après ça, de chez nous, on les renvoyait en arrière.
We were told, you'll be taking back as many casualties as you can possibly put on board the ship. Merciful man, there were some badly wounded young fellas, 19 years old. Shot up pretty bad, am I? They would say. We were told not to tell them anything, so we said, no, no, no. We're just bringing you back to the hospital. You'll be all right. And they would say, don't tell my mom or dad. Tell them, when you saw me, I was all right, and I'm coming home soon.
I remember getting the wards ready. All our patients had been sent off to other hospitals or back to their units, so we'd have empty beds when the casualties came in. We had not one patient. 1,200 empty beds with hot water bottle in them. Finally, when the first patient got in the door, I rushed over and I looked out the window. You could not see the end of the ambulances. Every bed was filled, 1,200 beds. We worked 16 and 18 hours a shift, and we saw some dreadful things, and some of the boys were very badly wounded.
Georgina Seeley, nursing sister.
This boy outwardly had no wounds at all. And of course, inwardly, he was hemorrhaging. We didn't know that. I'm diagnosing him right here. He had the biggest blue eyes I've ever seen, a good-looking boy, and he said in the loveliest, most polite voice, "Sister, would you write a letter to my mother and tell her that I've been wounded?" And I said, yes, as soon as I come back. And I'll tell you, when I came back and all I saw was a gray blanket, I fell up again. I nearly fainted.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us for the Act of Remembrance by Canadian veterans Jim Parks, Alphonse Vautour, and Henry Rain. Please respond with "We will remember them." Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous joindre à nous pour l'acte du souvenir qui sera récité par les vétérans canadiens Jim Parks, Alphonse Vautour et Henry Rain. Veuillez répondre par "Nous nous souviendrons d'eux."
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Ils ne vieilliront pas comme nous qui leur avons survécu. Ils ne connaîtront jamais l'outrage, ni le poids des années. Quand viendra l'heure du crépuscule et celle de l'aurore, nous nous souviendrons d'eux.
E ki so pekchek ki ano e ke te oia e spitsia na moia ka ke destote tamak tanta aski paksemo ota kuske e kwa kikse paya ke ka ke kisksoto tawanoak.
The Minister of National Defense deeply regrets to inform you that
Le ministère de la Défense nationale a le regret de vous annoncer de trop nombreuses familles ont eu le malheur de recevoir ce télégramme dévastateur.
this is the telegram that every mother, father, brother, sister, and other family member dreaded during those troubled times.
A month before the landing, George Westlake of the North Nova Scotia Highlanders wrote his last letter to his family. He said,
Please don't worry if you hear some bad news soon. I'll be all right. I promise. Us Westlakes will get along somehow.
Convaincu qu'il allait revenir de la guerre, George Westlake a écrit à ses parents pour leur dire de ne pas s'inquiéter.
George died on June 7th, 1944.
Il est mort le 7 juin 1944 et peu après ses frères ont subi le même sort.
Unaware of their brother's death, Thomas and Albert Westlake, serving with Toronto's Queen's Own Rifle of Canada, engaged in a fierce battle on the outskirts of Caen. There, they died, side by side, manning the same gun. Thomas, 29, Albert, 25, and George, 23, left behind two other brothers and their ailing mother.
The Wagner family of Teeterville, Ontario, lost 3 sons during the Second World War: Brian, Ivan, and Harry.
Les Lantaignes de Caraquette au Nouveau-Brunswick n'ont jamais revu Arthur, Jean-Baptiste et Philippe.
The Kimmels of Milner, British Columbia, grieved Clifford, Richard, and Gordon.
Gary Westlake reflected, I often wonder what my family would have been like if my uncles hadn't died in 1944. But then, I'm snapped back to reality when I think of what could have been if they and thousands of others hadn't died for what they believed in.
Ils sont morts pour notre liberté. Leur nom vit pour les générations.
George Chow, gunner.
You feel pretty proud that you did your share. That's about it. Yeah, I did my part. Nothing extraordinary, you might say, but I was there. I mean, the gun detachment that I had left, one of them got a direct hit, and I think the whole 12 people was killed. But you don't hear too much about it. But all you know, hey, no, certain detachment got hit. You know, that's all you hear. You know. Yeah, that's sad, that part.
And now, it is a privilege to have them among us today. C'est un privilège de les avoir parmi nous aujourd'hui. Voici le groupe autochtone canadien Warrior Eagle. This is the Indigenous Canadian drum group Warrior Eagle, who will sing the honor song.
Jacques Raymond, soldat.
Ah oui, nous autres, on participait à la bataille de l'Égiment de la Camp, puis la bataille de Carpiquet. C'était proche. Ça a pris 3 semaines avant qu'on puisse conquérir l'aérodrome. Ça fait tellement d'années qu'il était prêt de faire une guerre, il y avait plusieurs trucs que nous autres, on n'avait pas.
We had more killed liberating the city of Caen than on D-Day itself. I was lucky to survive. We were well trained, but we had no combat experience, and we continually faced the best troops the enemy had to offer, like the German 12th SS Panzer Division, Hitler Youth, 18-year-old fanatics. Scared is not even close to what I was feeling. Every fiber in my body was screaming for me to leave, to run, to escape what I can only describe as hell on earth. Everywhere, you could see the pale, upturned faces of the dead. We were scared, and yet we moved on. We fought. We fought for the body beside us, for our mission, for the chance to be reunited with our loved ones. I never realized how far discipline, pride of unit, and above all, pride of oneself and family can carry a man. Even when each step forward meant possible death. I can't stop thinking of the ones that did not make it. The ones that gave their life for me, for their country. They are the ones who won the war, not me. I was just lucky to survive.
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, veuillez accueillir, please welcome, Monsieur Édouard Philippe, Prime Minister of the French Republic. Monsieur Édouard Philippe, Premier ministre de la République française.
Monsieur le Premier ministre, Mesdames et Messieurs, tous étaient volontaires. Tous étaient volontaires et ce n'était pas le cas des autres contingents nationaux qui débarquèrent le 6 juin 1944. Mais les Canadiens l'étaient, volontaires pour partir à l'autre bout du monde, pour défendre la liberté, l'état de droit, la démocratie, au péril de leur vie. Malgré le raid de Dieppe, et ses 900 morts, le 19 août 1942. Leur détermination n'avait pas faibli pendant les mois d'entraînement qui précédèrent le D-Day. Les vétérans s'attendaient au pire, mais ils racontent qu'ils voulaient y aller, qu'ils étaient impatients. Ceux qui ont survécu décrivent un enfer qui dépasse leur imagination. Sous les ordres du général Keller, la 3e division canadienne débarque sur la plage de Juno Beach dans des conditions éprouvantes, à marée haute, ce qui la rend plus vulnérable aux obstacles disposés par Rommel. Malgré de lourdes pertes, ces héros ouvrent une première brèche vers la liberté. La France restera toujours redevable aux soldats canadiens qui ont participé au débarquement et à la bataille de Normandie. Elle sera toujours redevable aux hommes et aux femmes de la marine marchande du Canada, de la marine royale du Canada et de l'aviation royale du Canada. Ils se sont illustrés sur tous les théâtres d'opération et sur tous les continents. L'effort de guerre canadien a contribué à faire du Canada une grande nation et il a joué un rôle décisif pour la libération de la France et de l'Europe. Nous serons toujours redevables à Garth Webb, lieutenant de la 14e artillerie, puis fondateur du centre Juno Beach, à Léo Major, ce guerrier exceptionnel qui, après s'être illustré, devait encore s'honorer en Corée. Nous serons toujours redevables à Gilbert Boulanger, ce lieutenant d'aviation qui donne aujourd'hui son nom à une école de Courseulles-sur-Mer, et à tous ceux que je ne pourrais pas nommer, mais dont certains sont présents ici, parmi nous, aujourd'hui. 75 ans après le jour J, Juno Beach n'est pas seulement le nom d'une des 5 plages du débarquement et d'un remarquable musée qui contribue au devoir de mémoire et de réflexion historique. C'est l'un des noms de notre amitié franco-canadienne qui s'est aussi forgée, comme toute amitié, dans les épreuves. Nous célébrons cette année les 90 ans des relations diplomatiques entre nos deux pays, mais nos deux nations, nos deux peuples se connaissent et partagent une vie commune depuis bien plus longtemps. Dans un monde qui s'affole, qui accélère, ces relations, leur intensité, leur ancienneté sont précieuses. Aujourd'hui, les armées de nos deux pays sont engagées côte à côte, en Irak, dans le cadre de la coalition internationale qui lutte contre Daesh. Mais nos pays ont aussi d'autres combats à mener ensemble. L'urgence écologique, l'égalité entre les femmes et les hommes, la diversité culturelle sont autant de grands défis de civilisation que nous ne pouvons pas relever seuls. Ces défis, nous allons les relever ensemble, car nous partageons une histoire et surtout des valeurs. Nous allons les relever grâce à la qualité des liens qui unissent les dirigeants de nos deux pays. Depuis 1 an, le Premier ministre du Canada nous a honorés 2 fois d'une visite en France. Et le président de la République française s'est rendu au Canada en juin. Et dans quelques jours, le Canada passera le relais de la présidence du G7 à la France. Et nous allons les relever car nous sommes, nous aussi, volontaires. Notre jeunesse est volontaire, comme les combattants canadiens qui débarquèrent le 6 juin 1944. Et cette détermination reste la première condition pour infléchir le cours de l'histoire. Beaucoup ici ont dit qu'ils ne pouvaient pas imaginer la peur et le courage qu'il avait fallu à ces hommes pour sortir des bateaux et affronter cette plage. Pour ceux qui viennent après, il est difficile de dire autre chose que merci, mais ce merci est immense.
Douglas K. Jamieson, Reconnaissance Officer.
That was an exciting day, that one. It's quite an experience to look up at a Lancaster bomber and be able to count the bombs in the bomb bay. Well, as I say, we had heavy firepower, and the Germans were attempting to force their way out of the gap, to go eastward and to get to the Somme or the Seine and set up a line of defense. I don't know how many prisoners were taken in the Falaise Gap, but they were in the hundreds of thousands. There's no question about that.
Comme l'ont déjà écrit 2 historiens, ils n'étaient pas tous des saints et des héros, mais il y avait des saints et des héros parmi eux.
In Normandy, some young men and women who may probably have lived the most ordinary of lives and other circumstances, became heroes.
Les faits d'armes de Léo-Major lui ont valu de nombreuses distinctions, dont 2 Distinguished Medals. Ce que seulement 3 soldats ont réussi à faire, 3 soldats du Commonwealth ont réussi à faire en 2 guerres différentes. Léo-Major était un homme exceptionnel, un homme sans peur, un véritable héros.
From the plains of Saskatchewan, the only son of David Henry Currie and Mabel Brimble, David Currie, rose to the task of the Normandy campaign with exceptional courage and selflessness. He was truly a hero.
Peu après avoir débarqué, Léo-Major et d'autres soldats ont réussi à détruire un nid de mitrailleuses et à faire 12 prisonniers ennemis. Peu après, il a aussi réussi à capturer un véhicule ennemi qui contenait des livres-codes et des transmetteurs.
The fighting in the Falaise Pocket was fierce. It was intended to entrap the retreating enemy. Leading a small force composed of the South Alberta Regiment and other units, Major Currie attacked the village of Saint-Lambert-sur-Dive and established their position.
Le sergent-major réussit aussi à éliminer une patrouille allemande, mais il perd un œil dans la bataille. Quand on lui dit que sa guerre est finie, il refuse de quitter pour l'Angleterre.
The force held off enemy attacks for the next day and a half. During that time, they managed to destroy many German vehicles and kill or capture a large number of enemy soldiers.
Après la bataille de Normandie, Léo-Major s'est distingué aux Pays-Bas, entre autres, en libérant à lui seul une ville entière. Il a également pris part à la guerre de Corée.
For his brave actions, Major David Currie received the highest military distinction of the British Commonwealth, the Victoria Cross.
Mesdames et messieurs, le major général Guy Chapdelaine, aumônier général des Forces armées canadiennes, animera la prière. Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Guy Chapdelaine, Chaplain General of the Canadian Armed Forces, will lead us in prayer.
In respecting individual beliefs and conscience, I invite you to join me in prayer or to take this moment for personal reflection. God, who is at work in history, today in the presence of our Canadian veterans, the living embodiment of valor and service, we pause to remember our men and women who serve our country so that we might live in freedom and peace. En ce 75e anniversaire du débarquement du jour J, nous nous souvenons des plus de 14 000 membres de la Marine royale canadienne, de l'Armée canadienne et de l'aviation royale canadienne qui ont participé à cette bataille acharnée de Juno Beach. Nous nous souvenons du 6 juin 1944 comme l'un des moments décisifs de la Seconde Guerre mondiale, un jour gravé en notre mémoire. Nous nous souvenons du prix que l'humanité doit parfois payer pour parvenir à la paix. On D-Day, our Canadian forces were not alone. On the home front, they were supported by the love and prayers
of family and friends. And in battle, they supported each other. The courage and determination of Canadians on D-Day was not without cost. We give thanks for the 359 Canadians who made the ultimate sacrifice on that day. And we remember our solemn duty to hold high the torch that has been passed on to us. Nous nous souvenons du peuple français pour qui la guerre a frappé à leurs portes et transformé leur paysage à tout jamais. Nous rendons grâce pour les hommes et les femmes en uniforme aujourd'hui, engagés à défendre nos droits et nos libertés, ainsi que nos institutions démocratiques. Puissent-ils ne jamais oublier les leçons tirées des champs de bataille et de l'horreur de la guerre. We gather to affirm with one another our determination to remove the barriers of division in a spirit of reconciliation. We pray to you for the leaders of the world and for those of our country, for our Sovereign Lady Elizabeth II, Queen of Canada, for all members of our royal family in their service to our beloved Canada and the Commonwealth. We entrust to you our Governor General, the Prime Minister, and the Chief of the Defense Staff. Finally, we pray for all the people of Canada that we may be forever grateful to those who made the ultimate sacrifice, allowing us to enjoy the blessings of freedom and peace. May this be so, and may we all strive to continue our efforts to build a better world. Amen.
And now, the commitment to remember will be recited by Jace, Knapp, and Kamal Johnston. Please respond with, "We will remember them." La promesse de se souvenir sera récitée par Jace, Knapp et Kamal Johnston. Veuillez répondre avec, "Nous nous souviendrons d'eux."
They were young, as we are young. They served, giving freely of themselves. To them we pledge, amid the winds of time, to carry their torch and never forget. We will remember them.
Ils étaient jeunes, jeunes comme nous. Ils ont servi, donnant généreusement d'eux-mêmes. Nous leur promettons, en dépit du temps qui passe, de porter le flambeau et de ne jamais oublier. Nous nous souviendrons d'eux.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as Corporal Colin Williams will play The Last Post, followed by a minute of silence and the rouse. The lament will follow, played by Sergeant Curtis Leblanc. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever alors que le caporal Colin Williams va jouer la dernière sonnerie, suivie d'une minute de silence marquée par des coups de canon et le réveil. L'élégie suivra, interprétée par le sergent Curtis Leblanc.
Arriving from the sea is the CC-130J Hercules transport plane. L'avion que vous voyez arriver est un avion de transport Hercule CC-130J.
Onze 000 avions, 14 674 sorties.
1,213 warships, 4,126 landing craft, 746 supply craft, 864 merchant ships.
Presque 155 000 troupes d'alliés, dont 14 000 Canadiens. Ces chiffres ne racontent qu'une partie de l'histoire.
Campaigns aren't won by equipment or statistics. They're won by individual soldiers working together as a unit in the heat of battle.
Combat isn't as clean and clear as it might appear in history books. There are no metaphors that can truly describe it. Just ask.
Able seaman Alex Palowan, who was on HMCS Huron, who helped to protect the Allied fleet and supplies being transported.
Robert Spencer, artillery officer, 15th Canadian Field Regiment.
Jack Birch, a Royal Canadian Air Force bomber pilot of the number 433 Squadron.
Jim Parks of the Royal Winnipeg Rifles.
Jim Warford of the Canadian Army's 6th Division Ammunition Company.
And Sherbrooke Fusilier, tank gunman Hugh Buckley.
To these men, D-Day and the Battle of Normandy are not chapters in a history book, but experiences that help define a lifetime. We are not here to celebrate a battle. We are here to confirm our eternal gratitude to those who fought and put their lives at risk for a noble cause.
N'oublions jamais les sacrifices de ces vétérans qui sont ici avec nous aujourd'hui, et surtout de ceux qui n'y sont pas.
Mesdames et messieurs, nos distingués invités, les premiers ministres du Canada et de la République française, déposeront les gerbes d'honneur.
Ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, the Prime Minister of Canada and the Prime Minister of France, will now lay down wreaths.
The laying of the wreaths will be accompanied by the Canadian Armed Forces Brass and Reeds Band and the Pipes and Drums Band, who will be playing from the beach. Le dépôt des gerbes sera accompagné par la musique des Forces armées canadiennes et le corps de cornemuse et de tambours qui joueront depuis la plage.
Et maintenant, nous invitons le Premier ministre du Canada, le très honorable Justin Trudeau, et M. Édouard Philippe, Premier ministre de la République française, à déposer les gerbes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Feu de Joie, a traditional military salute. The Feu de Joie will commence with the firing of howitzers from the 2nd Regiment Royal Canadian Horse Artillery, followed by the Guard firing their weapons in rapid succession 3 times. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour le Feu de Joie. Le Feu de Joie est un salut traditionnel militaire qui commencera avec un tir de canon howitzer du 2e Régiment Royal Canadian Horse Artillery, suivi de 3 feux en rafale des soldats de la Garde d'honneur.
Guard, attention! Guard, take post! Guard, salva blanc, chargez! Présentez! Commencez! Rechargez! Présentez! Commencez! Rechargez! Présentez! Commencez!
Ceci marque la fin de la cérémonie d'aujourd'hui. Nous vous demandons de rester en place pour l'instant.
Okay! Out! Guard, take post! Guard, bayonet au fourreau. Remettez! Bayonet! Guard! Attention!
Ceci marque la fin de la cérémonie d'aujourd'hui. Nous vous demandons de rester en place pour l'instant. This marks the end of today's ceremony. We invite you to remain where you are for the moment. Nous invitons maintenant les vétérans à se rendre sur la plage en compagnie du Premier ministre et des membres des Forces armées canadiennes. We now invite the veterans to make their way to the beach with the Prime Minister and members of the Canadian Armed Forces.
Tu vas à la plage?
Enjoy your time on the beach, right? Folks are waiting for you guys.
Okay. I could, watch her. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Now we're on the beach. We had a brief chat yesterday. Mr. Gallant, sure you go. Very well. And the weather was better. A lot better than it was 75 years ago. I don't want to see that on eBay now.
That's fine, then on the beach.
Thank you. Okay, thanks for your service. All right, don't lose that. I don't want to see that on eBay. Good to see you. Nope, you're not. That just means I think very highly of you.
Yesterday,
Thank you.
Talking about your backing up.
Okay, great.
I don't know. We're up front and now we're blocking. Yeah, what did you say?
He was worried he's running over you. I haven't changed much, sir.
Hello.
I just want to get him turned around so maybe he can see the Prime Minister.
Sorry.
Attention. We ask that those of you who arrived on shuttle buses to please start directing yourself towards the location you were originally dropped off at, as your shuttles will begin boarding shortly. Attention, nous demandons à ceux d'entre vous qui sont arrivés dans les navettes de bien vouloir se diriger vers vos navettes situées où vous avez été déposés, car l'embarquement commencera prochainement. Attention tour operator passengers. Please proceed towards the exit located by the medical tent in the public location and staff will direct you to your pickup location. Attention, pour les passagers de car de tourisme. Veuillez vous diriger vers la sortie située près de la tente médicale de la zone publique et le personnel vous dirigera vers votre lieu de prise en charge. Attention. We ask that EF students move towards the exit by taking the route you originally took to enter this morning and you will be guided towards your exit. Attention, nous incitons le groupe EF à se diriger vers la sortie en empruntant le chemin inverse. Vous serez dirigé vers la sortie. Attention, we invite VIPs to please make your way to the parking lot and board your corresponding coach based on your colored armband. Staff will be there to guide you. Attention, nous invitons les VIP à se diriger vers le stationnement et de monter dans les bus correspondant à vos couleurs de bracelet. Du personnel vont vous diriger.
Wonderful. No, it's very good location. Well, I was a student in London.
Where are you living now?
I live in Vancouver.
Oh, you're back in Vancouver.
Yes.
God's country. It's beautiful out there.
Oh, it is a lovely city, yes. Yes. Are you here on official business?
I came with the Prime Minister this morning.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Are we going backwards?
Wait a minute, the man who was here has to get to the back.
No, it's very, it was a beautiful
Going
ceremony.
behind the sand dunes.
I thought it was very well produced and put together. I've got 4 children, and it's the first time we've all been together since their mother's funeral, which was 20 years ago. And oh yes, God has been very good to me.
You want another drink?
No, I'm okay.
No,
All that music is hard to hear. Thank
As the Prime Minister, the pleasure to meet you. Thank you for your service. Good to see you. Are you from Prince Edward Island? Minister Macaulay there. We'll look over this way. Thank you.
Good trick, yes, to the Omegas in it.
Bonjour Benny, plaisir de t'avoir. Merci beaucoup d'être ici, merci pour ton service. Ça me touche énormément. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let's do it. Hello, Hugh. Pleasure to see you. Indeed, good to see you. I was glad to see you all, but I'm even happier to see you here today.
Come right in here, squeeze in.
I'm sorry, we don't touch
Yeah. How are you? Well, I should have called you. You're on or what? I'm going to call you. I don't know. You can call me Justin. You call me whatever you want.
Attention. We ask that those of you who arrived on shuttle buses to please start directing yourself towards the location you were originally dropped off at, as your shuttles will begin boarding shortly. Attention, nous demandons à ceux d'entre vous qui sont arrivés dans les navettes de bien vouloir se diriger vers vos navettes situées où vous avez été déposés, car l'embarquement commencera prochainement. Attention tour operator passengers. Please proceed towards the exit located by the medical tent in the public location, and staff will direct you to your pickup location. Attention, pour les passagers de car de tourisme. Veuillez vous diriger vers la sortie située près de la tente médicale de la zone publique et le personnel vous dirigera vers votre lieu de prise en charge. Attention! We ask that EF students move towards the exit by taking the route you originally took to enter this morning, and you will be guided towards your exit. Attention, nous incitons le groupe EF à se diriger vers la sortie en empruntant le chemin inverse. Vous serez dirigé vers la sortie. Attention! We invite VIPs to please make your way to the parking lot and board your corresponding coach based on your colored armband. Staff will be there to guide you. Attention! Nous invitons les VIP à se diriger vers le stationnement et de monter dans les bus correspondant à vos couleurs de bracelet. Du personnel vont vous diriger. Attention. We ask that those of you who arrived on shuttle buses to please start directing yourself towards the location you were originally dropped off at, as your shuttles will begin boarding shortly. Attention, nous demandons à ceux d'entre vous qui sont arrivés dans les navettes de bien vouloir se diriger vers vos navettes situées où vous avez été déposés, car l'embarquement commencera prochainement. Attention tour operator passengers. Please proceed towards the exit located by the medical tent in the public location, and staff will direct you to your pickup location. Attention, pour les passagers de car de tourisme, veuillez vous diriger vers la sortie située près de la tente médicale de la zone publique et le personnel vous dirigera vers votre lieu de prise en charge. Attention. We ask that EF students move towards the exit by taking the route you originally took to enter this morning, and you will be guided towards your exit. Attention, nous incitons le groupe EF à se diriger vers la sortie en empruntant le chemin inverse. Vous serez dirigé vers la sortie. Attention. We invite VIPs to please make your way to the parking lot and board your corresponding coach based on your colored arm band. Staff will be there to guide you. Attention, nous invitons les VIP à se diriger vers le stationnement et de monter dans les bus correspondants à vos couleurs de bracelet. Du personnel vont vous diriger.